Here's the situation. Almost 800,000 Americans will lose their protections, meaning that they could lose their job or be deported from the United States. For a lot of dreamers, this will mean returning to a life of living in the shadows. In 2012, President Barack Obama signed DACA, Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. What this executive order did was give work permits to undocumented youth and also give them protections so that they won't be deported from the United States. In September 2017, President Donald Trump rescinded DACA, meaning that thousands of undocumented youth are at risk of being deported from the only place they know to be home, America. Here are real people affected by DACA, their perspectives, their voices, their future at stake.
My name is Mariela Zavala. I was born in the city of Reynosa, Mexico, on the Mexican side of the border, and I grew up on the Texas side.
My name is Ricardo Menendez. I grew up in El Salvador, and I immigrated to the United States at the age of 9 with my mom.
So my name is Alberto Tapia. I'm 23 years old now, almost 24. I live just a block away here in Santa Ana. I've been here since the age of 8.
I grew up in South Texas, undocumented, but I didn't really fully understand what it meant. I just knew we couldn't leave, you know, as a kid. Okay, we can't go to other parts of the state or the world, but I didn't really understand what it meant for me until I was applying for college.
I first found out that I was undocumented when we were leaving El Salvador. My mom did mention it to me, and you know, I just had that word. I didn't know what it meant. You know, as a little kid, you're confused with words. But when we got here, and then I started growing up, you realize what it means. And you know, there's certain things that hold you back from that word, like laws, certain things you can't do, you can't travel. You're kind of like segmented in one area, and that's what happened to us until you know, the laws changed and there was an opportunity for us to expand.
Somehow we've always just known that something was different in our household, but it really didn't hit until the first time that it hit was my sophomore year. There's a scholarship that only residents, people with those 9 digits is what I refer to them, the social, can apply to that scholarship. It is very popular in all high schools at Santa Ana School District, and when I wanted to apply, I found out I couldn't because I had no social. So that was the first time that I actually felt in the outside, just looking in, like I'm different.
So when DACA was signed in 2012, I think you might have a better idea of what that meant. It meant I could drive legally without having to worry about my entire life changing if I ran a stop sign or something like that. I could work legally. My first job was amazing. I was part of a mother-daughter program. It was a really special job to me because the first job that I was able to get, you know, legally. Right now, I'm a third-year PhD student at the University of California, Irvine. I'm in a good place in my life. I'm doing important work. I was able to do so much since I first got DACA.
Currently studying business administration. The emphasis is computer information systems. But you know, luckily I was able to land a job at the credit union in the tech department.
I'm now still going to school at Santa Ana College. I am planning to major in political science, minor something in either education or economy.
What were your initial thoughts when you heard President Trump rescinded DACA?
You know, it was very tough because, you know, you don't expect that. Like all of a sudden, you hear about it in the news that it was going to happen, but you can never be prepared. You know, you say, maybe it's fake news. But when I initially heard it, I was at work, and you know, I was on the computer, and I remember I had like CNN on the screen, and I was just looking at the updates there, and you know, it was kind of a blow because you don't know what's gonna happen, what requirements he's gonna place. If it's just take everything away and then you're fired and you lose everything you're working for. So,
when DACA was revoked, it was like a punch in the stomach. I felt so weak, you know, because you're strong for so long, but you also need to cry sometimes.
And so when he got rid of DACA, it's like, okay, well, at least I was able to renew. So I have 2 more years and my permit expires to 2019. So okay, that's fine. I'll keep working legally to 2019. Let the future me worry about it. But for now, it's always in the back of my head. What am I gonna do 2 years from now? They fly by fast.
So hi, my name is Jennifer Coe. I'm a law professor at Western State College of Law, where I also direct the immigration clinic. As an attorney and also as a scholar, my immediate reaction to the announcement was that many of the things that the Attorney General had said in the speech were simply not true, that they were grounded in a lot of rhetoric that was aimed at portraying immigrants as less than the contributors that they are to society.
There was a question about feeling American or not. It's funny or interesting to answer something like that because growing up undocumented, there's so many things that keep reminding you that you're not. But no matter how much you're able to succeed even with all of these obstacles, and no matter how hard you work and how resilient you are, even despite all of that, there's something about you. There's something inherently wrong about you. And this is a sort of trauma that as adults then we have to work through and understand that we've internalized this stigma.
There's always labels. Anywhere you go, wherever you go, you will always be labeled into, again, documented, a dreamer, undocumented, Hispanic, Latino. Like, we're all humans, and just even taking those labels away, I feel like we're more integrated, we're more one, we're a lot more equal. So the fact that there's labels, it just puts people away. It makes other people feel like they're not even equal or up there.
I think one of the biggest problems with the system, and DACA helps us see this, is that we've set up a system of law that allows us to view young people through nothing more than one single act that happened when they were children. And what we're doing in the immigration system right now is we're saying to those people, we're saying to DACA recipients, that we're going to only view you and view your worth based on this one violation that occurred that you weren't even responsible for at the time.
My hopes for the future are that, you know, with so many people being courageous and sharing their stories, that the U.S. can see and understand that it is so lucky to have so many thousands of people that are this resilient, that want to and are already contributing so much to their communities despite everything that they've gone through.
DACA holders are members of families, they have parents, they have siblings, and I think a lot of DACA holders see the sacrifices that their parents have made, even if their parents have made mistakes in the past. And what we're looking at is really a human rights crisis.
The biggest hope, it has to do with my mom. Unfortunately, I did lose her in 2016, and just seeing what she went through, and to bring me here, I gotta keep pushing forward. You can't destroy everything she built for me. She opened up a door for me, and I gotta make her proud somewhere or somehow.
And I hope that we can work together and negotiate something that takes into consideration the humanity of all of these people.
So thankful for my support system. That's what gives me hope, is you gotta keep going, you gotta keep going to school, that's why I want to do politics. I want to be the change. It sounds cliche, but I want to do something that maybe other people haven't done. So that's my hope. That's what gives me faith in this.
America was built on a vision of democracy and human rights, and in many ways we've done a great job, but I think history has shown us that we've made some really grave mistakes in the past. The Japanese American internment, slavery, Jim Crow. We have not always done a good job at fulfilling the vision that is America. And so right now I think America really has a choice as to what we'll do with DACA. Will we allow DACA to become another mistake that goes down in history, or will we allow DACA to be an opportunity for us to show the world, as well as our future and the future generations and our children, who this country really is?